Oh, did you want to, how about that? Good.
Little pebble upon the sand, now you're lying here in my hand. How many years have you been here? Little human upon the sand, from where I'm lying here in your hand. You to me are but a passing breeze. Oh, the sun will always shine where you stand, depending in which land you may find yourself. Now you have my blessing, go your way. Little pebble upon the sand, now you're lying here in my hand. How many years have you been here? Little human upon the sand, from where I'm lying here in your hand. You to me are but a passing breeze. Ah, the sun will always shine where you stand, depending in which land you may find yourself. Now you have my blessing, go your way. La 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 la. Didum dee dum da dum dee, didum dee dum da dum dee. Happiness runs in a circular motion. Thought is like a little boat upon the sea. All our souls are deeper than you can see. You can have everything if you let yourself be. Everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can have everything if you let yourself be. Happiness runs in a circular motion. Thought is like a little boat upon the sea. La 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 la. Didum dee dum da dum dee, didum dee dum da dum dee. Happiness runs in a circular motion. Thought is like a little boat upon the sea. All our souls are deeper than you can see. You can have everything if you let yourself be. Everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can have everything if you let yourself be. You can have everything if you let yourself be. You can have everything if you let yourself be.
Thank you, Pete and Paul Marquette. Thank you for holding that space. Our souls are deeper than we know. Anybody agree with that one? They are so much deeper. We welcome you this morning to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, where we gather to know the deepness of our heart and our soul, and to recognize that life moves in a circular direction. And sometimes when we think, where am I going? I'm supposed to be going straight forward. We're on this beautiful, beautiful circle of life, and we're all a part of it, and we're all traveling together. And so as we gather this morning, I want to share with you one thing from Rumi. I just saw it today, and I thought, we need to start out this day and this week in this way. And he said, gratitude is the wine for the soul. Go on and get drunk. And I thought, gratitude is the wine for the soul. Go on and get drunk. So I'm going to invite you this next month to get drunk. To get drunk in the gratitude of recognizing who you are and the soul that you are and the light that you came with. And sometimes life said, and yeah, they did just record it, so we'll see how that goes. But sometimes we forget who we are, and that this journey we're on, this circular motion of life, is supporting us and loving us. And it is moving us along the perfect path. So every one of us has signed up to be here at this time to learn so much and to let go. Does anybody have some crusty things that are holding you down? Today we're going to look at that and look at letting go of the old mindsets that have brought us to this time and place. And so one of the things I believe, or for me, that is so important on this journey is sometimes I can look out there at my life, at my body, at my world, and what's happening and say, I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm supposed to be over here, this is supposed to be happening. And instead, I realize that when I get quiet and go within and recognize I am one with the infinite presence and power of the universe, life shifts. And so as we begin this service in prayer, and whether you're at home, and we welcome our virtual family, and we are so grateful that all of you are here today, I just invite you to move within, to turn into that sacred space and recognize we are one with this infinite presence. And we are just simply going to say, oh, yes, Mother, Father, God, infinite Spirit, we open. We open to the knowing that life moves through us now. And we claim this movement of life. Spirit guides us. Love leads the way. And wherever we are this day, we know we have all that we need for all that is ours to do. all of the life, all of the love, all the presence and the power. And wherever it's buried, we simply say, here I am, infinite Spirit. I am guided, I am protected, I am loved, and I am here to let go of that which needs to be let go of and to take on all of the vibrancy of this day, this time, and this life. And we are so blessed to gather together. We surround all of the beings on this planet, in this galaxy. We surround them in light, in love, in the presence and power, knowing that pure spirit moves in and through and as them now. And we are blessed. And so it is. Amen. So it is a joy to be here. Beth is in Las Vegas at a friend's wedding, so I'll be doing the announcements today, and Colleen will be, yes, and she said, I'm outside of Las Vegas. So, so probably I should say she flew into Las Vegas. She is on a farm outside of Las Vegas. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that are happening. First of all, we have prayer chaplains who are here to pray with you. I think they even have their masks ready to go. We have such wonderful chaplains in this community, and the ability at the end of a service to pray one-on-one and have someone hold that consciousness with us makes such a difference. So I'd invite you at the end of this service, or there's several different ways to check with chaplains. You can look at, there's a flyer on our table. There's also our prayer box, which is right here, is often out in the tiled area, and just they will hold you in prayer and pray with you. So we're grateful to have them here. I wanted to share with you, I think, these are just some of the bags that are once a week lunch bunch. They're being painted and filled with sandwiches and food and taken down so that they feed the houseless community in Laurelhurst. And I just wanted to thank the people who they take the time, even the bags are sharing a message. And I just thought that was so wonderful. By the way, the time changes next Sunday, so we will fall back. You have an extra hour in your day, so just be sure and move your clocks backward. We'll be here for an 11 o'clock service an hour later. So the women's group will meet next Sunday, November 6th, in the chapel following the service. Get your coffee, a snack, and come back on up. And then the 20s to 30-somethings will be meeting downstairs. And the leaf raking, our joy of the year that was planned for next week, has actually been canceled because I don't know if you've looked at our trees, but the leaves are very happy where they are. And they have not fallen down. So we actually will be doing Portland's second leaf rake day, and it is Sunday, December 4th. So we will just enjoy the leaves as they make their journey. We are not controlling our worlds. I am learning that more and more, and every time I think I can, we're not in control of this journey, but what we are in control of is the way that we open our hearts and show up. And every day we just get to say, here I am. So let's see, we're going back. Oh, the wreath fundraiser. Our teens for over a decade have sold wreaths. That's one of their fundraisers. Our teens last weekend, we sent 6 teens and 2 sponsors to a YOU, a high school age retreat, and it was a wonderful opportunity for them. But the wreath fundraiser, you can go out and order one in the entryway. They have wreaths and swags. This is a small, close local company that we go out and meet the people who make the wreaths. They're there. They're just a wonderful place to operate with. I usually try and figure out what to do with mine about April because I've made them into Easter wreaths and other things because they're so beautiful. But you can go online on our website. You can go on the Constant Contact. You can go through PushPay. But the sale ends November 13th, and they are usually here. You know what? I'm not even going to guess. There aren't enough people in here to tell me when, but they'll be here in a couple weeks. Reverend Evan will be speaking the next 2 weeks. He will talk on surrender and love next week, finishing up this series that we've been doing, and then he will be here for gratitude, and Timber Hawkeye doing the Buddhist boot camp will be here November 20th, so we have a lot of things coming up. Timber Hawkeye on November 20th will be doing a free book discussion afterwards, and he's inviting anyone just to hear some of the ideas that he has, so that'll be Sunday, November 20th. Our Thanksgiving Eve service is the first service I will be back for. I leave Thursday for Egypt, and I am holding a space of perfect order and that there are clothes in the suitcase. Those are the two intentions I have right now. But that will be one of the places that I'm looking forward to being back here for the Thanksgiving Eve service and the pie social. It'll be the Wednesday the 23rd at 7 p.m. And part of that, what we're doing is we are collecting used candles. You will come in and you will see the room lit up. It's a wonderful opportunity on Thanksgiving Eve just to shift into a different mode. So if you have used candles, please bring them in. There are baskets in the entryway, and you can put those in there. If you would like to join us to go to a musical, we're going to Elf, the musical in Lake Oswego. And it is at the Lakewood Center for the Arts. There, again, it'll be in our Constant Contact. You can see Barbara Selvaggi, or you can just go on even PushPay and sign up there. And we have group tickets to go see that on Friday, December 9th. So you can join us for that. One of the elves is a person from our youth and family ministry, and so Grace is there, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. We have a holiday flyer. Believe it or not, we have just finished our holiday flyer. It is out on the table. A lot of people kept saying, when are we doing this? When are we doing that? So that's out there. And I want to just welcome Jim Toscano to come up. Jim is talking about our legacy fund, but I want you to know he has worked for 3 years, absolutely clear that we deserved this type of fund and to get it grounded and train us. And so Jim, I'm so grateful for all that you have done and continue to do. The microphone, I realize, is right there.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. What I'm going to talk about is this whole idea of sort of paying it forward. Soon we're going to celebrate our 100th anniversary in a few years. This is a special place. Think of all the wonderful times we've had here. Think of all the different things that have gone on. Think of the ministry, the preaching, the space, this beautiful place, and the spirit, the joy, the love that we all experience here. And we want it to go forward, maybe for the next 100 years. And so that's what we're trying to plan for, the next 100 years. And so we have along the way blips, I call them, like COVID, which kind of hit us hard. And our income went way down because we lost rentals. And thanks to the good work of Don Davis, through the federal, getting federal funds, we were able to kind of move forward and stay here and keep the lights on. And so it's wonderful that we have the spirit here, and we have our chaplains, we have all this music, we have all this good stuff. And so what we are trying to do now is make sure that we continue. And that means annual fund, and it also means looking forward from the annual fund to a longer-term kind of financing. And so the trustees, in their wisdom, have established an endowment fund. An endowment works pretty much like a bank account, where you keep the money that you put in there, and it grows, but you get income every year that you help with the annual funds. So it's a long-term thing forever. It's perpetual. And what we do is live off the income as the corpus, as the money in the bank, as it were, grows. And we will soon be affiliating with the Oregon Community Foundation, which is the largest foundation in the state. It has in investments over $2 billion. And so our money will be part of that probably $3 billion, $4 billion, $5 billion corpus, but restricted the money we put in to us. And we will get an income every year from that as that grows. That's how it's going to work. And so what the trustees have also done is established a planned giving program. And the planned giving is a program that works with each individual making a decision in their will and a trust and a gift to help the endowment. And that's where we are now. We have established this fund. We have out in the lobby a brochure that tells you much more than I can now about what we're doing. But what we really want you to do is think about what you are going to do for this institution, for this lovely, wonderful spiritual center. But let me also point out that everybody needs a will or a trust. Whether you do something here or not, have a will. Because if you don't, the lawyers in the state of Oregon will figure out how to get your money. You know, you decide how, whatever you have, where it's going to go. And hopefully this place will be part of that. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you. And if you have questions, I'll be outside and downstairs. And please take one of these and look and see what's going on. Thank you so much.
Jim, thank you so much, and thank you for, I remember when he and his wife started attending not that long before the pandemic, and how, you know, just after a few weeks, he said, this is an important space. This is important what we do here. And sometimes I think I have taken it not for granted, but just said, yes, it is, and what a blessing. And I'm grateful he stopped and looked at that. I wanted to share with you, there's so many changes that happen in our communities, and one of those was that Susan Perry made her transition. Some of you know her well and have taken this long journey of moving through cancer. And she has blessed us in so many ways, and I am just simply grateful that she did this as she wanted to. And thank you, God. So I wanted to let you know that the service will be in December. So we will get to bless her then and to know the truth of who she is. And I enjoyed many long conversations with her about what it's like to be listed as terminally ill for 6 years of your life, and to just be here and to be able to look at who you are and how the journey is and to be present in the moment. And I thought, I'm the one who was so blessed to have just a little bit of a sight into someone's journey and their life. And so just know she held such love for this community. I wanted to also move into just, you know, as we move along, we have people coming in from so many different areas, and we want to welcome you if you're new here in the community for the first time or you haven't been here in a while. We just want you to know we're so happy to have you with us. Our ushers have a guest packet for you, so if you're here for the first time or you haven't been here in a while, I just invite you to raise your hand and they will get you a packet. Anybody here for the first time? Wonderful. Richard, it's good to have you here. I know I saw you and Jasmine's back there, and so we can get her a packet, and keep your hands up for a moment and they will get that to you. What I know about this, and welcome. Oh, and you even came in costume. Okay, that's pretty cool. I have to say, they've asked for years, why don't you come in costume? So far, up until now, I haven't had the courage to do that. So I look at all the costumes and say, thank you, God, and just come in my orange and black. You know, for me, somehow, that's where I am. It's good to have you here. I want you to know that wherever you are in your spiritual journey, we are so happy to have you a part of this, and we honor where you are. Every one of us is on a spiritual journey. We are these live, vibrant souls of light that are learning and growing and expressing. If this community works for you, I would encourage you to become a part. I believe it's important for us to anchor and to find a place where we can say, I'm home, they know who I am, and I can live from this presence and power, and it supports me. If the community does not work for you, we encourage you to continue seeking. Find a place that does do that for you, that says, I know who you are. You are a creation of light. So welcome. It's good to have you here. And we are actually going to stand and sing. And thank you. It's so good to have both of you with us again as you share your light and your love. Thank you. Welcome to My Morning, by John Denver.
Na, na, na. Welcome to my morning. Welcome to my day. I'm the one responsible. I've made it just this way to make myself some pictures and see what they might bring. I think I've done it perfectly. I wouldn't change a thing. La, na, na, la, na, 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 na. La, na, na, la, na, 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 na. Welcome to my happiness. You know it makes me smile, and it pleases me to have you here for just a little while we open up some spaces and try to break the chains. And if the truth is told, they will never come again. La na na, la na 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 na, la na na, la na na na, la na na. Welcome to my evening, the closing of the day. You know, I could try a million times and never find a better way to tell you that I love you. And all the songs I play are to thank you for allowing me in the lovely day you've made. Welcome to my morning. Welcome to my day. I'm the one responsible. I've made it just this way to make myself some pictures and see what they might bring. I think I've done it perfectly. Wouldn't change the thing. La, na, 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 la, na, na, la, na, 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 la, na, na.
All right. And I would just invite you to turn to those around you and say, I think you've done it perfectly. Welcome. To have you here. I just wanted to say welcome. I really didn't mean to say it. It's you. How are you? I almost called you this week. I was like, I don't see him at some point. I was like, hi, it's good to see you. Let me go. Oh. I couldn't even tell that was Raina. Welcome. I'll get up there, I promise. Okay. I thought I better go say something in person. I just call him out.
You guys are
Good to see you guys.
terrible.
Make sure that she throws you a 20 for saying that.
Our most popular part of the service. We'll see what happens. Pete, why don't you start playing music? Why don't you start playing music? Just start playing some music. Just start playing some music. Do you know, well, we'll see. Do you know the biggest change that we've had since COVID has been over and we're meeting in person? When we first got back together, and this has nothing to do with the service, but when we first got back together, the greet your neighbors lasted about 10 seconds. It was like, hi, how are you? And everybody sat down. We were so used to our mind just being alone and being in the world that we were in. And now it's fascinating to see, okay, we've just moved back to where we were. And so it's part of this, it's just this cycle. And in just a moment, you're gonna hear a song, and then we're gonna move into a short time of meditation. And it's just this opportunity to remember that we create these neural pathways in our brain, in our world, as we allow our thoughts to be centered and to know the truth of who we are versus what humanity, or not humanity, but what other things may be telling us. And just to remember, oh yes, I'm one with the infinite. I'm a creation of God, of this essence, this quantum vibration of love. And so as we take this time to listen and then get quiet, and Susie Ellen will lead us in meditation, I just invite you to remember that I am one with that infinite.
There we go. There's a softer song that only softer silence hears. When you're so complete, you haven't time for counting years. Feel a softer sun, fire to warm your winter minds, shining through your clouds. Oh, you've got tomorrow's eyes. Love is all I have, the softer song I sing for you. Love is all I have, the warmer sun I am for you.
So now it's time to come apart for a little while, to rest our minds our bodies and our souls, to open to that place of deep and beautiful love that resides right here in each one of us, in the heart. And when we turn our attention to that place, we can feel the warmth and the love and the joy that we create as we come together. So I invite you now to just take a deep breath in and allow your mind to settle and quiet and open to that presence that is the love, the brightness, the beauty in each one of us. Together as community, we take this time to just spend a couple moments, minutes in quiet, finding that place, that depth, that love of spirit that we share with everyone we meet. So allow the mind as it quiets and the heart to open, and just be present right here, right now, for a few moments of silence. I am so grateful to spend this time, this short time in the silence and to the quiet of the mind, knowing that it brings me into a place of a deep sense of oneness and love that emanates my soul, emanates my heart, enlightens my mind, and brings me into this beautiful space, this community, right here and right now. Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for this time together in love. And so it is.
Morning's here on the shoulders of the sun, standing high and looking me in the eye. Go fetch my armor, watch your Ivanhoe joust in the hippodrome. Surging through me is stronger than lightning, conviction commanding me conquer the mountain. The mountain. The time has come and your life is around. compromising. Your star dream is sleeping near the sun. Oh, I could touch the sky. Turn the world on its side. What a great magician am I. Life is looking fine. And children are born for the good of the earth. They must savor the soil. For the good of their minds, they must matter for better. And cast me to fate or denounce me by name. For the good of my soul, I will challenge the reign of the heartless, regardless of the price I pay. Hail Excalibur free. Legions follow my lead. What a great crusader am I. Hail my magic mind. I can be what you wanted to. I can be what you think you are. I am. Touching the sky, turning the world on its side. What a great magician am I. Hail my magic mind. Touching the sky, turning the world on its side. Hail my magic mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are so blessed. I am touching the sky in my magic mind, turning the world on its side. Anybody feel like the world's gotten a little on its side sometimes? That's where life is right now. But what's fascinating is this idea. By the way, thank you both. Thank you for the light that you share, the love that you share with us. Thank you. You know, the first time that I got to see them really play was when I went up to the Mount Hood Kiwanis camp. And I was so blessed. I spent most of the time crying because there they were at the end of a week. And these are differently abled youth that get to spend a week up in Mount Hood at a camp. And it's fascinating because everything is designed to let them know how loved they are. And so these beautiful beings with their band were up there just reminding them through song. And it was so much fun because the kids, quite a few of them had T-shirts with your pictures on them from past years, and their life was about this idea. And I thought, what message are they getting? What message did they just hear? You're enough. We love you. Look at life. We can do this. These ideas, how many of us right now could use that in our lives. Look at who you are. Remember, life will work. We're enough to do this. That's where a lot of us are right now. And today we're actually in I believe it's our 5th week, yes, of a 6-week program. We've been using the book, The Universe Has Your Back. And for those of you who are working with that book and these ideas, and for those of you who aren't, I hope we're realizing the universe, the quantum field that we live and move and have our being in, it supports us. It supports us every minute of every day. Now, we may not determine that that's support. And there have been times in my life where I think, that's not what I want to be going through. This isn't what I want to experience. But what I know is that I signed up to evolve. I signed up to be a part of this movement, that the evolution of humanity. And right where I am right now, right where you are right now, is exactly where you're designed to be, to both learn and grow and heal, but also to let go of some really encrusted ideas. Anybody feel, and those are the ones for me anyway, that it's like the world just starts twisting and turning. And it says, if you don't want to pay attention right now, how about this? Will this help you listen and learn? There's nothing to be being done in retribution. It's humanity saying, yes, I'm willing to learn and to grow from that. In the 1920s, Charles Fillmore, one of the co-founders of Unity, said this. He said, the beliefs that you and your ancestors have held in mind have become thought currents so strong that their course in you can be changed only by your resolute desire to entertain them no longer. They will not be turned out unless you decide positively to adopt means of casting them out of your consciousness, and at the same time erect gates that will prevent their inflow from external sources. And he goes on to say, we do it through denial, we do it through affirmation, we do it through looking at our thoughts and our ideas, and that's an important piece. But we have mindsets that I believe the universe is offering us an opportunity, every single one of us, to let go of. Now, most of us here say, I'm working at this, I'm a good person, I do this, I do that. We have received mindsets and ideas and encrusted ways of being that we've been taught from birth. And how do we shift that? So today I want to talk about 2 things. I want to talk about oneness, because the truth is, what we're finding and knowing is that we are actually one. We are one with the universe. We're one with each other. We're one. This is one movement, one galaxy that's moving. And I want to talk about judgment. I bet that's your favorite word. I want to talk about judgment. Now, this is not your value of discernment. It's not the ability to say, nope, this doesn't work for me. But I want to talk about judgment because it's one of the places. In fact, Gabby Bernstein, who wrote this book, said, I think it's what keeps us from knowing our oneness. How many of us have tried to know our oneness with the universe? Anybody in here? Anybody tried to know I'm one? I'm a creation of the infinite. You can call it God. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I've worked to know this, and yet something blocks us. Those are the old ways of thinking. And one of the things we know is that when we aren't knowing our oneness, and then Gabby says, you are the loving energy of the universe. Our connection to love is often just a whisper amid the noisy chaos in our mind. It's just a whisper. Fear and separation are a pattern that must be interrupted on a moment-to-moment basis. Somehow we have to stop that. What's fascinating is this even goes down to science. If you look at physics, there's different physics. And Newtonian physics, which all of us were raised with, says you're separate. You're separate. Everything is separate. We're our own little compartments. And once we've been together, we're not together anymore. Once you do this to me, we're done and we're separate. Anybody grow up feeling separate? Separate leads to I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm different. And we find ways, our eyes actually see ways to find out how we're different. And we think that's just where it is. What's fascinating is when you look at quantum physics, which says we're one. There's one universe. All things are connected because it's a web. It's an energy web. And the book that we've been using in the Monday night class, Spiritual Warrior, goes into the science of this. We're in a time when we're moving to knowing and living quantum physics with a Newtonian separate physics mind. Do you know what that takes to reprogram and recreate? Anybody feeling it? It's like, oh my, okay, we have one person in here who's feeling it. It's like my mind, you may feel pressure. That's the world saying there's another mindset. And we can read about it, but we still have to do the work to get it into our brain. And this idea of judgment is one of the key pieces that holds us back, that doesn't allow us to connect in the same way. And judgment, it's something we've heard about our whole lives. But what if Jesus was teaching quantum physics? What if that wisdom teacher, it was physics? He wasn't there to be followed. He was there to share a message. And I have 4 books here, so I promise not to read from all of them. But I'm just working with Emmett Fox's Sermon on the Mount. And I just want to read to you. I know all of us have heard this. This is part of the Sermon on the Mount. Judge not that ye be judged. Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? First, cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote of the brother's eye. Now we've heard it. A lot of us have had it used against us and told we're less than whole because we judge. Actually, we were raised in a mindset and in a culture that taught us we were separate, and all that we need to do to find our bearings, our souls want to find their bearings. So we walk into a room and we say, you're older, you're younger, you're bigger, you're smaller, you're this, you're that. The color of your skin is this is this is that. And we literally, that's how our mind has been programmed. We didn't ask for it. But if we're alive today, I actually believe we're part of the deprogramming, the falling away of this idea. This is what Emmett Fox says. He said, this section of the Sermon on the Mount consists of 5 short verses and only about 100 words, and yet it is hardly too much to say that at its simple face value, it is the most staggering document ever presented to humankind. In these 5 verses, we are told more about the nature of man and the meaning of life and the importance of conduct and the art of living and the secret of happiness and success and the way out of trouble and the approach to God and the emancipation of the soul and the salvation of the world than all philosophers and the theologian and the savants put together have told us, for it explains the great law. It is more than what we realize. It's an old mindset. It allows racism to stay here because people are born, and this last night I was trying to reread this book, Better Than Them. And it's a man who as a young boy was part of, as a white in Alabama, a part of a civil rights uprising. And he said, I picked up a tire arm because I had been taught my whole life, you're better than them. And I knew no matter how low we got, because his family had no money, we were better than them. And he said it was a mindset, and I didn't know how far it went. And he said he didn't do anything with that tire iron, but what he did, he said, changed his whole life. And he was 16, he moved out by the time he was 18, got out of the area, and began realizing that the mindset was always, you're better than them, you're better than them. You're okay because you're better than them. Now we can think, wow, that's so bad. And he went back to the town and he talked to the people 40 years later. And he said, I wanted to know how that got in me. And he said, it was raised in me. And he looked at his father, who was part of the KKK, and what had happened and where it went. And he talked to other people. And he said, these were people who were just raised with these ideas. He said, and they didn't stop to get them out. So if we say, I'm judging, I know it, but it's just this little world. What we don't realize is we're the ones who go forward and say, no more. No more. I didn't come to think you're better or you're less, or you're whole or you're not whole. I came to know my oneness, and what blocks us from that is this old mindset. So what do we do? How do I keep working with this. First of all, she says, don't judge your judgment. Because all we do, how many times do we say, well, you did it again, you blew it, you're never going to get this? If we came to know our oneness and we move our thoughts in that direction, anybody ever tried, when you walked, did you do it perfectly the first time? Probably not. Now, I know a couple people who have, they just waited 2 years and then they walked, because they didn't. But we fall down. We're going to mess up. But beginning to have a mindset that says, I'm one. You're a creation of spirit. I'm a creation of spirit. What's fascinating, and they show it over and over and over again, is what we see in another is on some level in us. And I didn't like that at all. I can't tell you how many years I said, I believe all these, but I don't believe that one. I've really worked at this stuff. I'm working with it. And yet, if I will get quiet and just watch it for a couple weeks, I will find when I found this, there's something in me that says it's not enough. And the old idea of what we judge, we will be judged. That's the energy of the universe supporting us in seeing who we are. Let me show you what this feels like. Let me show you what this looks like. Let me show you who you are and how you are. And so the first part is just realize we don't need to be a part of judging anything. Now, we have the ability of discernment, and Charles Fillmore talked about that. You have a power to say no to this idea and yes to this idea. It does not mean that we don't have opinions about ideas. We have an election coming up, and it's very important to have an opinion and be able to say, this moves us towards oneness. This is an idea I want to see further. That's what we're doing. But in our own heart and mind, can we look at ourselves and say, you are a creation of spirit? Not, oh, look at this. This doesn't work. Oh, what happened to that body part? What happened to this? What happened to that? What's happening here? Can we begin to look at a world and say, it is? It is God. It is spirit. Charles Fillmore said one of the most important qualities we can gather is the quality of understanding. And he said, we must understand that under everything, it's all God. It's all life. It's the presence and power. I believe Jesus shared this to say, we didn't come to the widow and say, what's wrong with you? We came to the widow to find the love that we are and to recognize the wholeness of that soul, whether the outside is showing it or not. The Course in Miracles says every act is an act of love or a call for love. What a fascinating way. That means when we're angry and we have very little energy to stay centered, that's a call for love. How many calls for love are all around us right now? We're trying to get rid of the mindsets that may not directly be, you don't feel like it's affecting someone. But what we know about evolution is when we take on this mindset and we begin shifting it out of judging our world, they're stupid, they're bad, they're wrong, they're this, they're that, and just simply say, I'm here. There's an order larger than I know, and I'm going to stand in the highest idea I know. Martin Luther King taught that to those that were marching. And Mac Ott, in his book, which it is a self-written book, he said, there were the newspapers all said, when they fought, we fought back. He said, I was there. Not one person fought. They knew that there was a higher idea. And they stood in that idea because they knew it was not healthy for those who were standing there with tire irons, and they knew it was not healthy for them. We're at a place with ourselves where we are being invited back into the oneness. And it is new physics. It's a new way of living. I don't know about you, but right now, so far, it is excruciatingly squeezing me. And I would just invite you to welcome it, to bless it, to invite yourself to see again every time it goes that way. We don't have to judge it. Just begin to see with new eyes. You are a creation of spirit. All of those around you are. And they may be fighting to hold on to old mindsets that we do not understand. But I also know I got some mindsets that I don't understand. And my goal is to lead with shifting and moving. And I see every one of us knowing we have the inner strength to see ourselves as light and to hold the world in a space of light. Thank you. And as we have that opportunity to hold this world and this journey and with the gentlest hands that we know, we also have this opportunity to practice generosity, to know that we're a part of the giving. I use these I call them bookmarks, but these things because mine is an automatic giving, and it's something that I am so grateful to be a part of. I think we all are. And you know, as we move in the next couple of days, into November and move into gratitude, watch what happens in your brain when we say thank you, God, as our first idea. One of the things that I know I practice is thank you, God, and you are the light when I walk into a room. My goal is to see the light in every person, because what I find is somewhere in there I start finding it in myself. And as we're a part of having enough to share, we will find a mindset that says, when I'm doing well, you're doing well. And I can't do well without you doing well. And it's a relearning of who we are and how we are. And so we're going to say our blessing: divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Infinite Spirit.
Here's a song of gratitude that you can get drunk on. I'm thankful for my feelings, even when they get hurt. I'm thankful for my dreaming, even when I know it won't work. I'm thankful for my memories, even when I remember pain. 'Cause there's so many things that I have done that I'll never do again. Now the lady came to see me, my old feelings were still there. She said that she had found someone for whom she really cared. I tried to hide my suffering as I wished her peace and joy. But now all hope is gone, nobody's ever gonna stay with this old boy. But I'm thankful for my feelings, even when they get hurt. I'm thankful for my dreaming, even when I know it won't work. I'm thankful for my memories, even when I remember pain. 'Cause there's so many things that I have done that I'll never do again. You can't stop the world from turning, and it won't always turn your way. So you've got to build a philosophy to get you through the longer days. You can't make somebody love you or promise to be there. So learn to love without demands, and you live without a care. Then you'll be thankful for your feelings, even when they get hurt. You'll be thankful for your dreaming, even when you know it won't work. Just like I'm thankful for my memories, even when I remember pain. 'Cause there's so many things that I have done that I'll never do again. So many roads that I have run that I'll never run again. Since there's so many times that I have cried, I don't ever want to cry again. That's why I'm thankful for my feelings, even when they get hurt. I'm thankful for my dreaming, even when I know it won't work. I'm thankful for my memories, even when I remember pain. 'Cause there's so many things that I have done that I'll never do again.
All right. That is a good one. Be thankful for it all. That's not always the easiest, is it? What we know is that judgment keeps us away from love, which is actually the universal energy that we live and move and have our being in. And our youth are coming in just a moment, but I want to just say that Emmett Fox said, "My soul is filled with divine love. I am surrounded by divine love. I radiate love and peace to the whole world. I have conscious divine love. I am that love. God is love, and there is nothing in existence but spirit and its self-expression. All human beings are divine love." And he said that statement, and I thought, what would happen if we just said thank you? Thank you for the experiences we're in right now. Thank you for where we are. In just a moment, we are going to sing our youth in. And we are going to get to enjoy them in all of the varieties of who they are. They're going to come up and they're going to sing Let There Be Peace on Earth with us in just a moment. But first, and if there's any youth that we have out here, just come on up. Anybody who wants to join us. And we're going to sing them in. We're going to sing our youth in. Are we ready? Okay, you're doing it. All right.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash,
he did the monster mash.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
They did the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
they did the mash.
He did the monster mash. Ah, ooh. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the mash. They did the monster mash.
The monster mash,
It was a graveyard smash.
they did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash. Wow. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say, first of all, some of you have grown at least a foot over there. David, you got so tall. And they all did. I just thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. And you're going to share about camp last weekend?
Yes, I am.
All right.
So, hello everybody. I'm Sahel. I've been going here since like second grade, I think. And
Who went to
Yes.
camp?
Liliana and I went to
You
camp.
guys went to camp.
And yes, so we recently went to YOU retreat, and it was amazing. I had so much fun. I saw people that I haven't seen in a while. I saw people I've known since I was these people's age, and it was really nice. I had such a wonderful time, and it was really a mind-opening experience. And yeah, I'd like to be able to go to kids camp as well, because that is another thing that YOUers do. We are counselors for the kids so that the kids can go to camp and have the same experience that we have. They get to do fun activities, they get to do tie-dye. I still remember when I was their age and I went to kids camp, and it was so much fun. I made friends that I still know to this day, and yeah, it was great. Liliana, do you want to add anything?
Basically, all the camps are really fun. I really enjoy them, and I would like to be able to go to them. But we need enough people to be able to make those camps happen. So bring your kids to camp, everybody. It's super duper.
Thank you, thank you. And hopefully, yes, that was wonderful. Thank you for showing that here. I'll take it. Okay, and these camps that they're talking about, what their intention is to remind every being that they are whole, infinite, and complete and loved. All those big words, they use much smaller words. So we are blessed. We're going to stand and just simply hold that space for peace on this planet. There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. And I just want to say, yes, all right. We have a tiger saying yes. We have a tiger saying yes. All right, and before we do that, we have youth of all ages, and I just want to say happy 92nd birthday to Pat. So happy birthday. We love you, Pat. We have family of all ages and sizes, and Pat, we love you, and we hold that space for you. There's a cake downstairs. We invite all of you to go downstairs as we celebrate all of the masks we wear and get to take off. We're going to close. Oh, wait, we're going to
We have lots of games downstairs, and the kids have played them, but you're welcome to come play them. They're very fun, and you'll enjoy. Yeah, she's painting faces. So please come down and play some of our games.
All right, and what we're going to do it. We're gonna do our unity prayer, and then we are gonna sing the kids out with Monster Mash again before anybody else leaves. We haven't done this in 3 years, but we're good at it. So let's go. I don't know why I'm using that one. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a love-filled week. Okay, will you sit down?
He did the mash, he did the monster, he did the mash. The mash, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. Did the mash. It caught on in a flash. They did the mash. They did the monster mash. Oh.
Monster Mash.
Monster mash. Oh.